I'm Barrett Boone, and welcome to another episode of Small Stocks, Big Money. For those of you new to the show, RedChip is an investor relations, media, and research firm focused on emerging growth companies. Our unique platform combines global multimedia with traditional investor relations, reaching investors around the world. Now, today's show features interviews with the executives of two public companies. First up is ASP Isotopes, stock symbol ASPI on the NASDAQ. ASP Isotopes is an isotope enrichment company utilizing technology that was developed in South Africa over the past 20 years to enrich isotopes of elements or molecules with low atomic masses. Many of these elements are unsuitable for enrichment using traditional methods, such as centrifuges. The company's initial focus is on producing and commercializing highly enriched isotopes for use in both the healthcare and technology industries. We'll learn more when we speak with the CEO, Paul Mann, later in the show. Up next is Calidi Bio, stock symbol CLDI on the NASDAQ. Calidi Bio is a clinical stage immuno-oncology company with proprietary technology designed to arm the immune system to fight cancer. Calidi's novel stem cell-based platforms are utilizing potent allogenic stem cells capable of carrying payloads of oncolotic viruses for use in multiple oncology indications, including high-grade gliomas and solid tumors. Calidi's off-the-shelf, universal cell-based delivery platforms are designed to protect, amplify, and potentiate oncolotic viruses, leading to enhanced efficacy and improved patient safety. This dual approach can potentially treat or even prevent metastatic disease. Calidi Bio is headquartered in San Diego, California. We'll learn more when we speak with the CEO later in the show. Now, before we get to the first interview, our quote of the week. It comes from the book, Small Stocks, Big Money. The single most important way in which we attempt to manage risk in any environment is by seeking to buy stocks very cheaply. We never want to pay too much. This is a quote that comes from Bill Hentz of the Royce Funds, a very successful and long-standing money manager in both small and mid caps. It's featured in Chapter 3 of Small Stocks, Big Money, a book of exclusive interviews with some of the biggest players in the microcap space. Get a digital copy on Amazon today for just $18. Now, let's get started with our first interview today with ASP Isotopes.
Hello, today we have Paul Mann, CEO of ASP Isotopes, trading on the NASDAQ under the ticker ASPI. Paul, welcome back.
Thanks for having me, Craig. Great to be back.
Great to have you as always, Paul. Now, could you start by telling us about ASP Isotopes and the significant milestones the company has achieved over the past year?
Yeah, thanks. Yes, so we're an isotopes company incorporated in the United States, but most of our operations are in South Africa. And over the last 2 years, we've built 2 isotope enrichment facilities here. We'll start producing free cash flow around the middle of this year, so any month now. And we've signed a lot of contracts with customers, and we're really looking forward to solving some of the global supply chain issues in isotopes. Isotopes are one of the most challenged supply chains of any chemical in the world. 85% are produced by Russia, 15% by Europe, and there's no domestic production. So we're excited to become the first US enricher of isotopes and supplying US customers with these very special chemicals.
You know, Paul, it is remarkable for how many industries isotopes are critical. Now, how does ASP Isotopes plan to stabilize or even enhance the isotope supply chain, especially considering these current geopolitical tensions?
Yeah, as I said earlier, most isotopes are supplied by Russia, and Russia and Europe can only produce heavy isotopes. We can enrich light isotopes as well. And so, take, for example, quantum computing, advanced semiconductors, and artificial intelligence. To make faster semiconductors, the world's going to need highly enriched silicon-28, and that's exactly in our wheelhouse. That's a perfect isotope for us to enrich. And so, last month or so, we've signed a contract with a US semiconductor company to supply them with highly enriched silane, and we're talking to 3 other customers right now for similar other products. And things like that. Nuclear medicine. The world's looking for new isotopes for nuclear medicine. There's no Western or domestic producer of many of these isotopes, and we're here ready to help them. So actually, rather than us having to find a market for our isotopes, the market's actually come to us and asked us, can we supply these isotopes?
Paul, with the recent financial achievements highlighted in your annual report, including a strong cash balance and successful capital raises, how is ASP Isotopes positioned to accelerate growth in the current fiscal year?
Thanks. Yeah. So, what's been interesting is that, we've had many investors come to us asking to invest in our company. And that's very unusual, compared to most companies where you have to go and look for investors. And so with the financial resources we have available now, we can accelerate many projects. One of those, for example, is ytterbium-176. So ytterbium-176 is an isotope used for the treatment of cancer, prostate cancer. Novartis has a drug, that Pluvicto it's called, that treats prostate cancer. And during the clinical trial, 5% of patients died because they couldn't make the drug in time for them. Even today, I'm told patients are waiting 2 months to get onto the drug. And 2 months may not seem like much, but when your median survival is 12 months, 2 months is a long time. So our goal is to get ytterbium-176 to the world, as soon as possible, maybe 2025 or maybe later this year, and that'll really change the lives for a number of patients. And that's one of the projects we've accelerated because of the assistance of investors over the last 12 months.
Now, Paul, you recently started constructing your first quantum enrichment facility. What can you tell our viewers about this initiative?
Yeah, thank you. Yes, so that's one of the projects we accelerated because of the recent financings. And ytterbium-176, as I mentioned earlier, is the first product that will use quantum enrichment, which is a laser technique developed by our scientists during the 80s and 90s here in South Africa. So we've accelerated that project by a couple of years. And the financial rewards of that program will be huge. It's also the first step of other laser projects such as HALEU, or high-assay low-enriched uranium, lithium-6, lithium-7, nickel-64, many isotopes the world is desperate for, and there's no Western producer of them. So ytterbium-176 is the first of many similar plants we expect to build over the next several years.
ASP Isotopes signing several major agreements recently. Paul, talk to us about the significance of these contracts.
Yeah, so during the second half of last year, we signed 2 MOUs with 2 large SMR companies in the US that require metric ton quantities of HALEU, high-assay low-enriched uranium. The value of those could exceed $30 billion. Obviously, they're kind of blue sky numbers, but more recent and near-term events. We've signed a contract recently to supply silicon-28 to a US semiconductor company, and this silicon-28 is going to be required to make faster semiconductors. When you remove the 29 isotope from silicon, the heat conductivity increases by multiple folds, and the conductivity, the transfer of information, increases by thousands of fold. And that's how we get faster semiconductors, cooler semiconductors. And the world's facing a real challenge right now to make faster semiconductors, and semiconductors that can be used in data centers that require huge amounts of heating. And so there's a lot of excitement in silicon-28 for those purposes. If your kids want faster computer games, they need silicon-28.
You've been talking about HALEU, Paul. It's very important for those next generation nuclear reactors. Projected demand probably going to be great. What steps is ASP Isotopes taking to become a leader in the space?
Yeah, so HALEU is one of the isotopes I'm more excited about, actually. High-assay low-enriched uranium. That's a new form of nuclear fuel. And there is no Western producer of HALEU today. The world is in desperate need of a new supplier of HALEU. And hopefully we'll come and supply and find a solution to this problem. So what are we doing to solve the problem? Well, first of all, we're talking to very well capitalized companies in the US with large balance sheets who want to use their balance sheets to help us bring them HALEU. So rather than requiring free money from governments or government grants, we've gone straight to the people that need it, who are better capitalized, quite frankly, than governments. So they're prepared to put millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars, into building plants. Secondly, we started a research program, which has been funded by one of the US SMR companies, to start doing the plant designs for this project. And by the way, I would add, I can't think of any other SMR company or nuclear company that's ever invested in a research project for enrichment before. Most nuclear companies try and avoid enrichment, but here they are getting involved because of the desperation and the need to get there. And finally, we're talking to free governments. We need a government permit to build a plant, or government permission to build a plant, enriching a uranium plant. Building a uranium plant is not like building a plastic pellet plant. It takes a bit more government processes. So we started those discussions with free governments, and hopefully during the next sort of several months, we will get clarity on where our first plant's going to go. And I'm really excited about bringing that news to the market when we're able to bring it.
Now, Paul, tell us, as economically as you can, what is the essential value proposition and why should an investor take an interest in ASP Isotopes right now?
Yeah, so the world's at an inflection point where it needs new isotopes that aren't available from any other producer. And the isotopes that's been supplied have come from Russia or the rest of the world. And we're coming along as a new supplier of isotopes. Our technology allows us to generate a significant return on capital in any plant we built. And we're right at the verge of starting to produce new isotopes and generate free cash flow for our shareholders. And hopefully that should result in a significantly higher share price.
That's a very exciting story, Paul. Thank you for sharing it with us today.
Thank you, Craig.
Now, to get more information on ASP Isotopes, visit aspiinfo.com. You'll see research reports, fact sheets, presentations, and all of the latest videos. It's free, and you can even subscribe to email alerts to stay on top of the latest news. You can also call 1-800-RedChip to speak to a specialist if you have any questions. We also have a free weekly newsletter you can subscribe to at redchip.com, featuring emerging growth companies like ASP Isotopes. And be sure to sign up for our weekly newsletter and learn about a lot of small cap companies. And also go to our website, sign up on our events page. We have webinars, several a week, in which we feature small public companies, mostly client companies, and you'll hear straight from the CEO. Following, we'll have a Q&A session. Again, visit redchip.com and subscribe today. In addition to our newsletter, you can also order your copy of Small Stocks, Big Money, a book written by RedChip's CEO, featuring interviews with some of the biggest players in the microcap space. Order your copy at redchip.com today for just $18. Now, let's move on to our next interview with Calidi Biotherapeutics.
Hello there. Today we have Alan Kamisa, CEO of Calidi Biotherapeutics, which trades on the NYSE American under the ticker symbol CLDI. Alan, thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Craig, for having me here.
Can you provide us, Alan, with an overview of Calidi Biotherapeutics and its position in the expansive field of cancer treatment?
The whole area immunotherapy is how do you get the immune system to attack cancer? And so what Calidi does is we have an active ingredient, and the whole sector called oncolytic virus activates the immune system. It lyses tumor cells and then activates the immune system. But where Calidi is different is we have a cell delivery platform that protects that virus to be more powerful enough, amplifies it, so it can really overcome 9-10 pints of blood that's in the human body. So a lot of mouse studies show that it's effective, but when you go to the human body, it gets inactivated. So our cell delivery platform is the really novel therapy that we have.
Alan, for those of us who are not deeply acquainted with the science, could you explain in layman's terms what that oncolytic virotherapy is and how Calidi's platform stands out in this innovative area of cancer treatment?
Well, an oncolytic virus is I use the analogy that your body recognizes a cold virus, it's foreign, and attacks it. The cancer cells aren't recognized by the body as foreign. It grows unabated. And so the way you trick the body is you inject a virus there into the tumor cell, and the immune system recognizes it as foreign, and it starts attacking that tumor cell because there's a virus injected. So that's the theory of it. And again, where we're differentiated is that we want to protect the virus long enough to amplify and kill enough tumor cells and cause a delayed immune response.
One likens it to a Trojan horse. Is that about right?
That's correct. It's like the Trojan horse or stealth bomber, where it's invisible to the body.
Amazing. How big is the addressable market, Alan, for Calidi's therapies and the unmet medical needs that you're aiming to fulfill?
Well, the beauty of the technology is stem cells gravitate to any necrotic damaged tissues. So we believe we're universal in that we're not a small molecule, we're not targeting one specific cancer. We can address dozens of solid tumors right now with our Supernova platform. So we believe the biggest market is lung, and then obviously breast, prostate, but we've actually had our first generation product in 26 patients. We call it the autologous trial.
That's fascinating, Alan. Now, could you provide us an overview of the entire pipeline? I want to know about their current stages of development and especially what makes each program unique.
Yes, sir. Craig, the most advanced program we have is NeuroNova, which is using adenovirus in combination with neurostem cells. That already had a phase 1 trial in Northwestern, and it was published in Lancet. So our most advanced trial right now is already in the clinic for recurring glioblastoma. We're doing the trial. The headquarters is in City of Hope, Pasadena. We dosed 7 patients already. Clinical safety and enrollment update at ASCO on the clinical trial that is presently underway at City of Hope. The second trial that's going to be launched and FDA approved is going to be at Northwestern for newly diagnosed glio. And that's going to be probably announced in the next 30 to 45 days. That's a phase 1b/2a. The significance of these trials is that the glio is a very deadly area, and the medium lifespan is a certain time frame, and we can extend the life with these stem cells. If we kill the tumor cells with repeated doses, it's very promising because the first publication was very, very well received at Lancet. And the third asset we have is Supernova, which is targeting multiple solid tumors. That'll be in the clinic late this year. We did a safety trial of 26 patients several years ago using the patient's own stem cells. Now we're going to use allogeneic cells, which is more universal and it's more broader, that we can make more of this product to thousands and thousands of patients. So that one's going to be targeting triple negative breast, head and neck, melanoma, sarcoma, and those are the type of indications we're targeting.
You know, Alan, it's so exciting. You're working on glioblastoma, a truly deadly killer. You're working with City of Hope and Northwestern, household names. I would expect that there are going to be some milestones and catalysts coming up in the near term that we can expect. Could you elaborate, please?
The key milestone is that if we can show 50% progression-free and increase the medium standard of lifespan for these patients from 6 to 8 months, it should be a groundbreaking milestone to be potentially approved on a registrational phase 2. So you don't have to do phase 3 with glio because it's such an unmet need. But we're all excited about that milestone. The other one is starting the phase 1b/2a at Northwestern, which is now the second trial that Dr. Lesniak, the chief of neurosurgery, is going to conduct. And we also have the President Biden's doctor, Dr. Alfred Young, who's on our advisory board, who tried to save his son of glioblastoma. And so it had promise. It was a naked virus, but it wasn't powerful enough to do the job. So he's a big fan of using stem cells to deliver virus for brain cancer patients.
Very exciting, Alan. Let's turn now to your great leadership team. I was just so impressed with your extensive experience, including growing companies significantly in scale and revenue. How does your great experience and the experience of your other team members shape the strategic direction and long-term potential of Calidi?
That's a good question. We believe that we have a very collaborative environment. I've got patent recognition. Some of my executives have been with me in other companies, and I'm really pleased that we really know how to move the ball when it comes to potential licensing and business partnerships. So we have a strong scientific, but also a strong business team in combination, which is rare.
All right, Alan, I'm going to put you on the spot here. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All righty. Now, give us the essential value proposition. Why should any investor take an interest in your company right now?
You know, we're undervalued. We had a valuation before we went public. Fundamentally, the technology is strong. We keep getting state and federal grants. And so we believe that state of California awarded 3 grants in the last year and a half $20 million on our platform. So it shows validation by, agencies that we have the technology.
Thank you, Alan. What a fascinating story. Thanks again.
Now, to get more information on Calidi Biotherapeutics, visit CLDIinfo.com. You'll see research reports, fact sheets, the latest investor presentation, and all of the latest videos. It's free, and you can even subscribe to email alerts to stay on top of the latest news. You can also call 1-800-RedChip to speak to a specialist if you do have any questions. We also have a free weekly newsletter you can subscribe to at RedChip.com, featuring emerging growth companies like Calidi Biotherapeutics. And be sure to sign up for our weekly newsletter and learn about a lot of small cap companies. And also go to our website and sign up on our events page for the webinar series. We have webinars every week in which we feature small public companies, mostly client companies, and you'll be able to hear straight from the CEO, and you'll be able to ask questions after that. Again, visit redchip.com and subscribe today. In addition to our newsletter, you can order Small Stocks, Big Money, the book written by RedChip's CEO, which features interviews with some of the biggest players in the microcap space. Get a digital copy on Amazon today for just $18. Now, let's recap the companies featured today. First, you met ASP Isotopes, stock symbol ASPI on the NASDAQ. ASP Isotopes is an isotope enrichment company utilizing technology developed in South Africa over the past 20 years to enrich isotopes of elements or molecules with low atomic masses. Many of these elements are unsuitable for enrichment using traditional methods, such as centrifuges. The company's initial focus is on producing and commercializing highly enriched isotopes for both the healthcare and technology industries. You can learn more at www.aspiinfo.com. Then, you met Calidi Biotherapeutics, stock symbol CLDI on the NASDAQ. Calidi Biotherapeutics is a clinical stage immuno-oncology company with proprietary technology designed to arm the immune system to fight cancer. Calidi's novel stem cell-based platforms are utilizing potent allogenic stem cells capable of carrying payloads of oncolotic viruses for use in multiple oncology indications, including high-grade gliomas and solid tumors. Calidi's off-the-shelf, universal cell-based delivery platforms are designed to protect, amplify, and potentiate oncolotic viruses, leading to enhanced efficacy and improved patient safety. This dual approach can potentially treat or even prevent metastatic disease. Calidi Biotherapeutics is headquartered in San Diego, California. Learn more at www.cldiinfo.com. Don't forget to check out our stocks page. It's the biggest small cap stock portal in the industry. Every company listed on the NASDAQ or New York Stock Exchange with market caps of under $2 billion. And it's categorized by industries. Be sure to sign up for our weekly newsletter and learn about a lot of small cap companies. And also go to our website, sign up on our events page where we'll have webinars every week. These webinars will feature the CEOs of publicly traded companies. They'll give you a presentation and you'll be able to ask any question after that. Again, if you have any questions about any of our public companies featured on today's show, call us at 1-800-RedChip or email us at info@redchip.com. In closing, remember, while small caps can provide significant gains, you must be prepared for the downside. Small cap stocks are among the most volatile of the asset classes. Some of the companies featured on this show are RedChip client companies, and we may own stock in these companies, so please always read our disclosures at redchip.com. Thanks for being with us today. We'll see you next week with some new, exciting emerging growth companies.
Every year, year, more than 300,000 people globally are diagnosed with glioblastoma, a type of brain cancer that is almost always fatal, a multi-billion-dollar problem. Now, Calidi Bio, an NYSE company, is developing a new stem cell technology to treat this deadly cancer, using stem cells and a therapeutic payload. Calidi Bio harnesses our own immune system to destroy cancerous cells while leaving our healthy cells unharmed. Calidi Bio, changing the paradigm in the treatment of cancer.
What is an isotope, and why should investors care? Isotopes are a type of atom, the smallest unit of matter. Isotopes are a critical element in quantum computing, AI, next-generation semiconductors, and vital to our national security. Meet ASP Isotopes, a NASDAQ company, stock symbol ASPI, producing and processing enriched isotopes. New tech, high tech, better tech. Over 100 million in contracts. Undiscovered until now. ASP Isotopes, symbol ASPI.
Hi, my name is Paul Mann, and I'm the Chairman and Chief Executive Officer of ASP Isotopes, and we're listed on NASDAQ under the ticker code ASPI. Isotopes are one of the most supply-side constrained chemicals the world knows. Most of them supplied by Russia and Europe. There's no US domestic producer of these chemicals, and they're used every day in things you touch, things you use, and they'll enable things like quantum computing, artificial intelligence, and super fast semiconductors in the future. And we make these chemicals. Our plants are becoming commercial in the next several months. We expect to start producing free cash flow later on this year. For more information, we actually wrote a newsletter recently to shareholders. You'll find that on our website. And our website address is www.aspisotopes.com. Thanks so much.